Hey everyone, my name is Rooster, and welcome back to Mechabellum. Today's video is going to be all about fang carry, because of course we have to play at least one fang carry game every month, it seems. And yeah, well, today was the day. Let's see if we're successful. My opponent is a 2.2k MMR rated player from the 201 region, so very solid opponent. Let's see if they're prepared. My matchup is going to be up against sabers here, and I am a speed specialist with the fangs. Now, the reason I went for this also was because I really didn't like my other starting packs. So I said to myself, you know what, let's give ourselves 5,500 hit points. I get a nice specialist for the strat, and we kind of can start setting up the fang carry from the get-go. This used to be a very popular strat back in 2023, towards the end of 2023. And Ball Fang actually used to be one of the main setups for it. Especially if you were a quick supply, you could even go for something like range, sell a steel ball, or not sell a steel ball and skip a deployment and already get range on your fangs on round 1. This time around though, we're speed spec, so we're just going to play it conservatively with a double fang purchase. And yeah, steel balls are going to be in front. I think I probably should be changing my setup a little bit here. It's honestly not even that bad to buy some crawlers when you're going fang carry as frontline, because as much as I do want my steel balls to tank, I also don't want them to just like get killed immediately by opponent's sabers if I happen to be in a headbutt like this one, right? Ideally, I'd have at least the first shot wasted, and then the steel balls have a chance, I say a chance, to get close to the sabers and maybe take them down. Either way, the steel balls here are simply going to die at the very start, but we do manage to take out all of the hounds. So it's now a bit of a stalemate. I've got a lot of small units. The sabers don't like dealing with that, and I've got a lot of fangs that don't really like killing the saber tooth, at least at level 1. So this is going to take a while, but we managed to at least kill one saber. Now, I don't think I'll be able to take down this remaining saber, as my fangs are slowly dwindling. And that means we have less and less DPS to try and get through this bulky tank. But I'll take that for a first round. Round number 2. And unit reinforcements show up. Now, out of all of the things offered here, Phantom Ray looked like the best option to me. I don't really need Fire Badgers, I don't need Sledgehammers, I don't need a Tarantula. I was afraid of the Tarantula, because that is exceptionally beefy at level 2. Fire Badger, I guess, maybe, but I do have armor on my steel balls, I believe, so honestly, like, that is pretty easy to deal with. You can just buy yourself like a Rhino with armor, or steel balls with armor at some point, and really brick the Fire Badgers. But Tarantula level 2, that could have been scary. Very tanky, and already my opponent had a lot of tanky stuff, but I'm happy to see that he went for the Phantom. I decided to put a Crawler and a Phantom myself on the left side tower, try and get in over there, and I was basically playing for a 1-round win, and then maybe I sell it later on for a Fang Tech or, you know, some levels. We do add another Fang to the board as well here, covering my flank. I just kind of guess. We do leave one flank open, but fortunately, looks like we were right, and the 50-50 goes our way. Opponent does put a missile there, but that's why the crawlers are in front of my phantoms, so they can tank the missile, and then we managed to get a debuff. But thanks to that, my fangs should be able to beat this phantom pack, I think. In the meantime, Steel Ball's still alive, moving through all of the enemy hounds. Eventually they do go down, but the Phantom Rays on my end have plenty of DPS to help out the Fangs, and we do take round number 2. So very happy with how that went. I was very scared of the level 2 Tarantula, but lucky for me, opponent didn't seem to want it. Now round number 3, Advanced Power System shows up. A bunch of good cards, to be honest. Wasp Swarm, Portable Shield I was really thinking about, because that will make it a lot harder for him to kill my steel balls, but I mean, how can you pass on Advanced Power System when you're playing a comp like this and you're Speed Specialist on top of things? Speed is a super strong statistic for any aggro comp, so we do end up picking it here. Opponent goes for the haste module and adds a pack of crawlers in front of his phantoms. Sabertooth going to be here in the corner. Not sure what it's targeting, but perhaps he's expecting, you know, a steel ball or something to be in front of that. And we see a phantom ray and a crawler on the left side as well. So opponent's happy to simply mirror my setup as I decide to grab range on my fangs. Finally, we do have levels on our fangs, so 2 of them already level 2, and another fang is going to get positioned here to cover the flank. Leaves us enough money to miss all these crawlers. I have no good way of dealing with them right now, so I'm okay doing this. I know that most people would think that early missiles are a bit of a noob trap, perhaps, like you're wasting resources, you need to build your board, but it's honestly been a very common strat at High Mars 2. If I don't have a way to get rid of your crawlers quickly, or, you know, anything else really, I just don't have the deployment to deal with it, I'm happy to missile it, because not doing so would lose me the round most likely, or I would have to somehow expend a deployment and make the rest of my board weaker. But yeah, here doesn't really quite work out. We do manage to get the tower, but that crawler addition on the flank really did hurt. And so we're going to end up losing this round. Lucky for us, opponent also went for, I think, even couple missiles. And so that sends us to round number 4. Nothing too interesting here. Efficient Giant Manufacturing, something to consider. You can play Fortress Fang. The problem with Fortress Fang, in my opinion these days, is that Abyss exists and it's good against both units. It's very good against the bulky fortresses, which are easy to hit. And then the missiles are exceptionally good against the stagnant Fangs. And it's just a nightmare unit to deal with. So I don't want, in any way, shape, or form, incentivize my opponent to go Abyss. So I'm not even going to bother picking Efficient Giant Manufacturing and trying that. Fortress Fang is a bit of a strat from the past, at least at the moment. So let's try and make something else work. Now, we pick up more Fangs, and I actually have enough money to get a second tech here. Mech Rage already on the bar. We miss all the crawlers here, as I said. I have no good way of dealing with this right now, so I'm simply going to missile it, and that should allow my Fangs to deal with the Phantom Rays. And then we also pick up a bunch of Fang levels. Opponent adds more Phantoms to the board, clicks High Explosive to try and get rid of the crawlers. But I managed to pick up a level on this Phantom Ray, and I did prioritize that because I know that I should be able to win it. Oh, we get an undo on the High Explosive Phantom Rays, and instead it's range on the Hounds, with another Hound being added on my shallow flank. Missiles getting traded, another crawler here being added. That could cause some problems, we'll have to see. But again, I do have the advantage with my level 2 Phantom Ray. Missile goes through, and level 2 Phantom Ray will win that engagement. Missile there, also doing well. Level 2 Fangs with the double tech, able to kill that Phantom Ray. This time around, we won't get debuffed. However, the ranged Hounds are doing a number on my Fangs. The Sabers are tanking well, and I have no frontline, basically, to protect my Fangs. So that's something I still do need to find. The good thing is, my opponent doesn't have any solid anti-air apart from their Phantoms, and we already killed both of them. So this round, we're just going to get for free. And that is very nice, because being able to save this many hit points, I mean, I think I'm saving like 700 or 800 hit points here by cleaning up the board, is very, very valuable. It allows me to do these type of greedy plays without really suffering for it. Now, round number 5. And again, nothing too interesting shows up. Again, Efficient Giant Manufacturing shows up. Now I'm starting to think, should I be picking Fortress? I really do need a bit of frontline. But in the end, I kind of say to myself, I mean, what am I going to do? I know why I don't want to play Fortress. I know Abyss is a problem, so let's not try and bait it out. And let's just try and set up our board. We got a round for free, so we can take a bit of damage here if need be. And then that should be good enough. I actually buy back some steel balls, as I felt like those should do a decent job against Sabers if you wanted to buy more of them. I do get to insta-lock this one, hopefully. And again, the missiles come out in force. Level 3 Phantom Rays, and my opponent finally buys something other than Phantoms to contest mine. Phoenix is going to be behind here. Steel Ball's doing an okay job taking down one of the Sabers. One of them actually did get sold, as the Hounds now are double-teched and the levels have been prioritized. Fangs are doing okay. Left side struggling this time around though. My Phantom's not quite able to do much. And it looks like we are going to lose a round. But hey, we are somewhat okay with this. We got a bit of a scam last round, so that buys us a bit of time. And now round number 6. Quick Teleport shows up. Orbital Javelin as well. Opponent picks Super Supply on round 6. I really would not recommend that you do that, because it's going to take forever to buy it, to get that money back. Basically gonna take the entirety of round 7 and 8 just to pay back for the card, and then on round 9 is where you start seeing the profit. But you will be at a tempo deficit for the next 2 rounds. Whereas we have managed to pick up a quick teleport, and that should allow us to maybe go for some flank plays. I mean, look at that. It's just fully open at the moment. I can't believe I haven't gone for it before. Fangs do have some levels now, level 3. And we still have a ton of money to buy some stuff. Now, I want to wait for the unit drop turn because I felt like I still needed some good frontline. And the Steel Balls were okay, but they weren't really providing what I needed. Oh, looks like I'm going to buy it myself anyway. Alright, so we are going to buy some Rhinos now. Elite recruit them, that's important. Level 1 Rhinos would be way too squishy. And we also pick up the Armor Enhancement Tech, which is the usual pickup, because it just gives you so much stats for free. Well, for free, for a low amount of resources, with the 50% increased hit points, and also being able to block a good amount of damage here from the Hounds. Should do well. A lot better than the Steel Balls. We're actually selling back out of Steel Balls here, so you can see that I was really unsure, and so it's not the cleanest of games in terms of efficiency, but we're now going to go for these Rhinos, and it's managing to tank that Saber for quite a decent amount of time. Opponents also kind of got baited, perhaps, into these secondary armaments, perhaps expecting more of a Steel Ball investment, but now we're just backtracking and just going down a different path yet again. So I was talking about how this comp used to be meta. Rhino Fang was very popular, Steel Ball Fang was very popular, and of course Fortress Fang was the probably the best variant of it, if you want to call it that way, with the use of the giants. But Rhinos can be very nice. They're exceptionally tanky, and they've got a whole bunch of speed on their side as well, so that means that you can sometimes catch people off guard and go grab their towers. So round number 7, again, the Phantom Rays, somewhat of an unsung hero, just keeps on leveling. It's top on damage, and it keeps performing so well for me. I mean, this might not even be a Fang carry game. It might just be an unteched Phantom Ray game for some reason. Phantom Ray carry, that is. Now, round number 7, Scorpion show up. Opponent picks that. And I'm thinking, well, Farseer does have Photon Emission available, and I don't mind having that on the Rhino. I do have it on the bar, but, you know, if I can somehow spread the resources spent here and get the Photon from the Farseer, that maybe frees up a second tech slot for something like Mech Rage or Whirlwind on my Rhinos. Gonna buy more Rhinos, of course. We kind of have to. Need to protect my Fangs. And I did throw a Crawler here on the top left last round. It got missiled, I believe. Now a level 2 Hound has been put in front of it. And this is where we're going to start and make some use out of our quick teleport. Rhino, some Fangs behind, and aiming at that left side tower. There is a missile there, but the Rhino should be able to easily tank it. And now, let's see. No Photon Emission just yet on my side, but we're setting up for it. That's why the Farseers are so far up. Opponent goes for double shot Scorpions right in front of the Rhinos, which might do well for now, but I wouldn't consider Scorpion to be a good Rhino counter necessarily, especially if the Rhino is a level up. It might be tough for him to get anything out of this. Okay, he does kill them eventually, but on the right side, my Rhino managed to trade, as it was also getting shot by other units. Flank is getting in. The fangs actually are the ones taking the tower first with that speed because they didn't get slowed down. Look at how quick they are. Now flanking the enemy hounds, but this does not look too good for us. Trying to set up here during the unit round, but yeah, that is a lot of damage that we're receiving. Down to 1500. Uh-oh. I mean, if we don't do something quick, we're going to end up in a world of hurt. Round number 8. Advanced Defensive Tactic shows up. This time around, I do pick it up. It is late game, and I feel like the only thing that can save me is doubling down in a way. And, well, having more damage on my fangs certainly should help. And we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. Creating more problems across the field, making use of that quick teleport. Throwing another rhino, level 2, on that flank here. Aiming in at the tower. Putting a crawler right in front of his phoenixes. Trying to make sure that we can somehow distract that so that these phantoms are freed up. Rhino here in the corner. We could also try to beacon this up eventually. And yeah, we're just trying to create trouble everywhere. We're also going for the photon emission here on the Farseers. That's going to make my rhinos even tankier. And we're just hoping for the best. Opponent actually buys a level 2 Scorpion here to deal with this rhino. Very, very expensive way to deal with it. But the way that he's positioned it is not perfect, right? I talked about this before, I think, in another video, but the way that this is set up is so that the Scorpion doesn't have to travel too much distance after it's killed the rhino. However, there's still space on the flank here to be closer to the Scorpion. So what I could do in a future round, if there is one, is add something like a crawler to distract the first shot, freeing up this rhino. Now let's have a look. Crawlers are fighting, rhinos moving in. It's very fast. I mean, we are loaning, of course, because I felt like I was very close to dying. We managed to trade against that Scorpion yet again, and now the rhino gets in, chops the tower. It might be level 2, that doesn't matter. 7 seconds to debuff for ours. How much can we do? There's still a bunch of phoenixes left, a whole bunch of hounds too. It doesn't feel like I should be able to win this, but maybe we've killed enough units here to survive. I think we might have. Looks like there's about 600, 900, I mean, you know, 1300-ish, perhaps? Can we survive? We just about can, down to 291 hit points, but now we really need to make no mistakes. Round number 9, Mustangs show up. Apologies. And I decide to go for the Typhoon. Nothing looks fantastic here, so best thing to do is simply sell what is worth the most, which is going to be that Typhoon, and invest into the rest of our board. So that's what we're going to be doing. And look at that. Crawler right in front of that level 2 Scorpion, because I realized, hey, this isn't properly lined up. This is not in front of the Rhino, and that means I can free my Rhino. And, I mean, with the Crawlers, we might even be able to kill this. I just need to get close. We also go for a Mech Rage on our Rhinos here. I run this tech because I think it's a lot of fun. Even more move speed. Rhinos now moving in at 30 meters a second, which is exceptionally fast. And of course, they also attack a whole lot faster, so they're going to be able to take down anything in their path as long as they connect. And yeah, this time around, opponent goes for Abyss. Oh boy. I mean, I talked about it before. I'm happy I didn't go for the Fortress, because it does seem like my opponent knows where to find that button. And this time around, I'm going to be missiling this Hound Pack and moving in with this Rhino instead of the one on the flank. Again, you can see the path is relatively open, so I might be able to get there. We also have double tower enhancements, by the way. Just got to get that extra tankiness, and we're kind of stat stacking, right? On the Fangs, we've got that advanced offensive tactics as well. Let's see, but debuffs are going to be crucial. You can see the Crawlers are causing a lot of trouble, and this time around, my Rhino, I mean, can it survive? Oh, never mind. Distracted the Abyss, but maybe that's good enough as a whole bunch of Rhinos find their way onto his tower. That's 7 seconds of debuff. And can we somehow grab another one here? We do still need to take down that Abyss. I cannot leave it alive because, well, it deals 500 damage, so I would die. Not that much left though, and my Phantom Rays, we didn't talk about them. They're still top on damage, and they're gonna be helping out massively here, taking down that Abyss. So, some way, somehow, we've managed to survive round number 9 going into round number 10. Seems like the Abyss wasn't exactly the correct play, at least the Rhinos, as opposed to something like Fortress, are much faster. They're harder to hit, and they actually do pressure at the tower from a bunch of different angles. Round number 10, Ion Blast shows up. I mean, we have to pick it. And, I mean, his units are pretty well lined up, so should have some decent value. My Fangs aren't moving too much either, so they might get cooked, but the Rhinos at least should be able to avoid it. They're just way too fast for him to try and hit them. And this time around, again, Scorpion here, not lined up with the Rhino. So we could throw a Crawler here, and perhaps the Rhino then gets in. We grab some Rhino levels where possible, and again, I'm going to go for this diagonal push with my level 3 Rhino. Temp speed, temp range have been clicked. Fang levels could perhaps get picked up. We're also missiling all of the crawlers as much as possible here, as you can see. As my chaff clear is at the moment just the Fangs, which is alright with the levels and the double tech, but it's not amazing. And another level 2 Scorpion now shows up. Not sure where that went. Oh, it's over here. So trying to deal with this Rhino moving in. But yeah, you can see here we're adding another crawler. As I also went for Impact Drill to try and win the crawler fights. Level 3 tower on that side though. Another Scorpion protecting the tower. He really doesn't want these guys to get in. Let's see. Who has the better Ion Blast? Who has the better comp on round 10? Scorpion manages to get one double shot in, but it's not enough to kill the Rhinos. You can really see here, it takes a whole lot of resources to take these down using Scorpions. And, I mean, even there, the double shot not quite enough. Level 3 Rhino, low on hit points, but high enough to take the tower. 5 seconds of debuff, and this time around, I don't even need these Phantom Rays to do anything. It's going to be the Fangs taking down the Abyss. Tons of damage, but it's not enough. 14 hit points remaining. Both of us here surviving on a sliver of hit points, and it's going to be round 11 to decide. Orbital Bombardment shows up. Very scared about that one. Again, my Fangs are not going to like that whatsoever, but probably am just obliged to take this. I do take it. Opponent doesn't go for the Orbital. Instead, picks up a photon emission item. Perhaps to throw it onto one of the Scorpions and make it a little bit tankier. Orbital here, not fantastic for me, by the way. There's not too much to hit. I mean, I guess there's the Hounds, but that's about it. And actually, the Hounds can tank one of the Orbital Bombardment strikes, as they are sitting above 2.5k hit points. And, I mean, again, taking to the levels on the Rhinos, making sure that we use that tankiness. And again, moving in on this diagonal, it seems to have been causing him trouble, so I'm going to go for it again. Opponent sells the Abyss, realizes that it wasn't doing too much. Now has 2,650 resources available, you can see in the bottom right. That is quite a lot, so I'm a bit scared of what is to come. I also decided to pick up AA on my Far series because I felt like, you know, I probably need to respect the Abyss somewhat, but it's not going to be that on the board this round. It's going to be another Titan. Instead, the War Factory shows up. Launcher Overload clicked, Armor Enhancement clicked. It's level 2, it has 400,000 hit points. The other tower is level 3 as well. And let's see. Opponent didn't really shield though, so my Orbital might be able to get some good value. But look at that, the Fangs here are just melting those low-level Scorpions, and I have plenty of Rhinos still to distract. Left side though, oh boy, that War Factory is very angry, and it's going to take down most of my Rhinos. The right side's going to have to go in and grab that tower. Fangs luckily are able to deal damage to this War Factory, as their damage is high enough to get through the armor. But, ooh, this is very, very close. Units are turning though. My tower is level 1, but only one Hound goes towards it. This is going to fall. Rhino has the debuff on its side. Fangs are simply going to take down the War Factory, and it looks like, by some miracle, We have managed to make the Fang carry work, and I was not expecting to win this final round, let me tell you. I really did not think we would get through that War Factory, but we did. Stacking all of those stats, getting the double tower enhancements, getting that advanced defensive tactics, having the speed, the quick teleport. We had to pull out some tricks as well, right? Realizing these scorpions, they're not well lined up. And that allows us to get a bunch of tower debuffs in the past couple of rounds and survive. Also, my Phantom Ray, which I bought, or well, I got for free on round number 2, it never moved. We had it in a precarious position from round 2 onwards, and some way, somehow, it managed to get to level 5, and without any text whatsoever, it's top on damage, not just overall, but this last round as well. Looks like it did a ton of damage to that War Factory, so I have to thank it for that. And yeah, I mean, how fun is this comp though, when it does work? Being able to just zerg your opponent like that with rhinos, you very rarely see it, but sometimes it can work. And yeah, it's why I don't like Scorpion as a response. I mean, I know that he got them for free, so I get that he wants to try and use the unit drop that was offered, but Sabers honestly were a pretty good response already. I guess ranged steel ball would likely be an even better response. Sometimes you can get away with hacker, but it's a little bit tricky. But yeah, crazy game. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of this Rhino fan game, what you think of that Phantom carrying the whole board, even though I didn't give it any text. And yeah, post anything else down there that you want to share with us. If you want to stay up to date with my latest content, please consider subscribing. And if you want to see me play live, check me out on Twitch. With that being said, take care guys, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.